Filoni. My name is Donovan Filoni. As always, with me is my co-host Andrew Cooper. How's it going, man?
Good.
All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and get this Halloween episode off. Probably a shorter episode tonight. Lot to kind of talk about, but um, we want to have a good Halloween weekend here. So let's start off in Q1 here with the news. Brian Kelly out at LSU. Um, let me go ahead and get your first reactions. What is your reactions of LSU firing Brian Kelly?
We all knew it was going to happen,
Yeah.
especially
I'm
after the way they lost to Texas A&M.
yeah. I think you hit it right on the head there, right? Like they don't get blown out at night against Texas A&M. Like I think he might last a couple more games, but he's just never seemed like a fit there, right? So
No, I mean he just couldn't really get it together for me. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think he kind of just from all the reports that are coming out, and I'll read another report that I just got about 20 minutes ago. All the reports are coming out and just kind of seemed like he was just wanting to get fired and wanting for the buyout. Um, I honestly didn't think he was going to get fired till the end of the season. But since that game was a blowout, like you said, I think they had to let him go. Texas A&M beat him from pillar to post. Like they just, it wasn't even close. Now, reports are saying, that he wasn't really involved as much in the program. Kind of like similar to reports towards the end of his career at Notre Dame, like he's stepping further and further away, which, can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. Obviously, this is a bad thing. I've been saying for years I didn't think Brian Kelly was a great coach. I think he had a good run at Cincinnati when he was with them as a G5 program back in the day, but I just never thought he was a really good coach. But I just sent you in the group message that instead of the $50 million buyout, which is the second largest, $54 million buyout, the second largest in NCAA history, it looks like the morality clause is going to kick in and it's only going to be 27 million due. This is because uh, supposedly, allegedly, that Brian Kelly carded over 400 rounds at a local golf country club in the last 4 years, as well as some other taking advantage of some other things that the morality clause allows them to knock off about half of. I think it knocked off half, about $27 million. Does this change your opinion at all? I mean, I don't think he's a good coach, but I'm biased because I was a Notre Dame fan when he was there. So, um, if your coach is doing this, do you want him to keep coaching or you want him fired?
No, it sounded like to me he focused the time a little bit more on golf.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, have the perks, but like also if your defense is playing like that and you're at a state that's known to carry some amazing defensive players, you should be out there recruiting them. It's an easy in your backyard type deal. Um, so does with this larger buyout, and even though they did the morality clause, and a lot of coaches continually getting fired, do you think this is a change in um, or is anybody safe as a coach these days, or do you think it's more of like just because of circumstances?
I mean, I just don't think any coach is really safe, really and truly, because it's like we say time and time again. The bowl games are just irrelevant now. It doesn't matter.
Right.
The bowl games don't matter. You know what I mean? They want to get into the college football playoffs. They could care less about the low end bowls and all that. I mean, I just think you're going to see more major universities start tightening up as far as, okay, are we going to settle for mediocre bowls, or are we going to try to take a leap to try to establish ourselves and get more into a college football type bowl, a playoff bowl? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Like, I didn't even think about the bowl angle of it, but you're correct with that. Like, it's either playoffs or bust because if you go into a bowl game, you're going to have to deal with the transfer portal anyways. Which I still like bowl season. I know you do too, but it's one of those things where you're right. It is pretty irrelevant now that there are 12 teams. I think they might expand it,
Yeah. Well,
but
another thing is too though is a lot of the players are opting out if they're
mhm.
not in the college football playoffs. So I mean, like I said, the bowl
Which I don't
games to
blame
me
them.
aren't. No, but I mean the bowl games aren't what we grew up watching. You know what I mean?
Right. hmm Yeah, no, I agree. I think the leash is just shorter than it was before, just to kind of add on to it. And it's all due to how Signetti changed Indiana so quickly. How Indiana was maybe one of the worst, if not the worst, Power Four team in the country, and how he's turned them into national title contenders this year in 2 years. Um, but I also think part of it is there was also a lot of warm seats going into the season because if you remember last year, the coaching carousel was hardly there. Like there was very few people that changed jobs and changed things. So I think there's a lot of like warm seats to hot seats coming into the season more so than normal. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot more firings this year. But so there's currently eight Power Four job openings. So I kind of want to just do a fun exercise and rank them. You don't have to do necessarily one through eight, but kind of like tier them. And I can start here with this one. My top tier, there's one team top tier, one team in the second tier, one team in the third tier, um, four teams in the fifth tier, or I mean the rest of the teams in the fourth tier, and then one team at the bottom. So my top tier team is LSU. I think right now that is the best job, just because how much of a weight that program has for recruiting there, more so than any other state. Um, Kids grow up wanting to go to LSU, playing for LSU. You have, New Orleans down there, Baton Rouge, like, it's just a football school, right? And they have the history to prove it. A second tier is Florida. I think it's a closer second, especially since Napier, how he built all of the facilities and kind of just built that program back up to where it should be after, a down year with Mullen on his last year. And then the third tier, and this one's a close third tier as well, is Penn State. A good pipeline in Pennsylvania, Ohio, but not the SEC name and not necessarily known for beating the bigger guys, but still a great school, great alumni base, great NIL, great stadium atmosphere. So those are my top three. Does any of yours differ from those three or?
No.
All right. And then my tier four, like I said, I had four teams in tier four here. I have Virginia Tech, Stanford, Arkansas, and Oklahoma State. I feel like they're all kind of similar. Now, Virginia Tech has put in 230 some odd $1 million for their coaching search in their NIL for the next like 5 years. Bruce Arians is on Pat McAfee show being part of the search. And I think we might actually get a first coach hiring by next week. I've been reading a lot of rumors that James Franklin contract negotiations are in the works right now, which that would be huge if they could get him to start coaching right away, or even just step ahead in the recruiting cycle, especially in that area for Virginia Tech. Um, Stanford, I think they're on the right way. They have Frank Wright coaching right now. The only reason why he's coaching is because Andrew Luck asked him, but they're doing it the right way. It seems like they're trying to build a program kind of back to what it was. Andrew Luck being the general manager. I think, Stanford just has unlimited money, especially being the tech areas out there in California. So look out for Stanford to do it the right way and hire somebody, maybe not necessarily as proven, but the right coach for Stanford. Arkansas, I mean, Oklahoma State kind of the same way. They're not going to hire somebody who's proven, but there's just so many young coaches out in Texas, Oklahoma area that have so much promise that would love a Power Four job. So I think that's going to be a hotbed there. And then Arkansas, if there's any sense of winning in Arkansas, the NIL programs are just going to be flooded with cash with Walmart and Tyson Chicken and Jerry Jones just flooding it in there to get them back to where they were in the mid 2000s, early 2000s. And then my bottom tier is UCLA. They just haven't been good in years. The NIL program is not big there because they're more focused on basketball. Um, I think they just need to hire Neuheisel. their offensive coordinator and just be done with it. Like that's their guy. They can't go anywhere else. Um, so how would you rank the current job openings?
I mean, right now, the one that really intrigues me the most, well, we already pretty much know that Rule's probably going to go to Penn State at the end of the year.
Do you think so? I'm not sold on that one.
I would say either him or maybe um, Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator, maybe. But I think the job
Okay,
that
interesting.
really intrigues me right now it would be the Virginia Tech job with James
Yes.
Franklin.
Did you see that same report?
Yeah,
Supposedly they're already in contract negotiations, and as early as Monday, might be announced as the head coach. And if that's true, if he is the head coach for Virginia Tech, that's massive.
yeah. You're going to see Tech. I think probably keep a lot of these guys that are going to the Michigans,
Oh
especially
yeah,
like high school guys in Virginia. Going to Michigan or Rutgers or South Carolina and Georgia or Clemson. I think you're going to see them probably stay a whole lot closer to home.
yeah, and he's done a lot better with a lot less resources. Like look what he did with Vanderbilt before he got the Penn State job. Like Vandy was the laughing stock of the SEC, but when he was coaching there, they were beating the big boys. Like they just were. And I think you're exactly right. I think it makes, in my opinion, I think it makes Virginia Tech immediately a top tier school in the ACC, just with him as the coach.
Oh yeah,
Immediately.
100%. 100%.
Um, and that makes me excited because Virginia Tech hasn't been good in a while. Like they've been average, but they haven't been like the teams that we're used to. But I think that immediately puts them up with the Miami, Louisville, Georgia Tech conversation.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really rule out SMU either because SMU's pretty having pretty two good years in
I
the
think Brett
ACC.
I think Brett Lashley's gone though. I think one of these schools are going to pick him up.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a school that hasn't been let go yet, like Auburn. I think Brett Lashley would be a good fit there.
Interesting.
But that's just, kind of my opinion on that one. I know I'm not 100% sure. Okay. So let's go ahead and have some fun here with some Halloween categories here. We got three regular categories and then a trick or treat game that we'll play. So the Halloween category, scariest player. Now I wasn't specific on how you should do this, whether it's defense, offense, but and I want one example of like current and past. And I have my past right away. So I'll go first with scariest player in the past, and it's a tie for two of them. Actually, it's really just one. I'm just going to say one of them, just in case you had the other one, and it's Jadeveon Clowney. Him in the at South Carolina, I can just remember that play on the run play from Michigan, how he just came right up the middle and knocked the helmet right off the guy. Like he was a man amongst kids when he used to play, and he just fortunately that didn't really pan out in the NFL, but he was a scary player to watch.
Scariest player that I could think of was Sean Taylor.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, the
I mean, I'm
ruthless.
just saying, if I was on the offensive side of the ball, I'm scared to death to either run or catch a pass in the middle of the field.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. Yeah, that's he's the definition of it. You definitely got me on that one for sure. Current player, I took it a little bit different route to be scary, and it's Diego Pavia. And the reason why it's scary is because he's not like the most physically gifted. He's not the tallest. He's not, the strongest arm. Dude's just a winner, and he will run you over with his little 5'9" self and run you right in your mouth, even if you're 80 pounds bigger than him. And that, I think that should just scare teams if he's on the other end because you don't know what he's going to do. You don't know how he's going to do it. Um, it's just a lot of props. I'm not trying to be negative on Pavia. It's just I'm giving him a ton of props. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, I, I had three actually. One of them you're probably going to laugh at, but the other one's a little bit more realistic. I went with Ole Miss's quarterback coming from the D2 side,
Yeah,
playing the way that he's playing.
yeah.
After the starter goes down, um, he's
Trinidad
kind of proven
Chambliss.
to me, yes, Chambliss, he's pretty much proved to me that, he's just a straight out baller. He's kind of like Pavia. That's why I didn't go with
Yeah,
Pavia because I figured you had him.
yeah,
But for another fun route outside of Chambliss, I wouldn't being a college head coach.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, think about it. Think about it. All these firings, and it's not like they're waiting until November, a week before the rivalry game, like they usually do. I mean, it's first, second, third week of the year, and they're firing people.
yeah. Yeah, I think we got a first firing, what, 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is. I didn't think it like that is scary, but yeah, I guess it is. But also, isn't the best job in sports to be a fired head coach with a
I'm
buyout?
not going to disagree because you can pretty much go home and sit back and laugh and drink beer and watch football.
And you sneeze and you make $25,000, right? Like,
Yeah. Need a new set of irons for the golf game. Yeah, no problem.
who was your third one?
I had Pavia, but I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
name him because you had him.
Yeah, yeah. Chandless is a good one though. I like him a lot because he's Fair State came out of there, and then he's just you're right. He's balled out, and Austin Simmons I think is going to be a good quarterback. He's just there's like you can't take the ball out of Chandless's hands right now because even the game they lost, it wasn't his fault. He still put up 40 points. Like,
Yeah,
all right, transfer zombie. So most impactful transfer player, and you could go Trinidad Chandless for this one if you wanted to. I have two. How many do you got?
I had to. I went with Chambliss again,
Yeah.
but I also went with KC Concepcion.
Okay. Him and Mario
I
Craver as a
mean,
tag team transfer too.
yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, a kid of his size, 5'10", playing in the ACC, and
Yeah,
didn't
he's so
really have
good.
the year that he wanted his sophomore year, and then he transfers to a big time SEC school, and he has not looked back. I mean, he's still
No,
same explosive KC that
less
I've
possession
actually got to
receiver.
see. Oh, 100%.
He's not as possession focused as he was in NC State.
No,
But I mean, I know you were
he kind of
drooling over
reminds
him for the
me.
last 2 years, and he's
Yeah,
proven every bit of it.
he kind of reminds me of like a Percy Harvin, Devin Hester
Yeah,
kind of return guy.
I can see that. Yeah, I mean, he's electric. That's a good one. I didn't go there. I went quarterback for my first one, and I think it has to be Fernando Mendoza from Indiana, just because of I mean. Rourke did okay last year being a G5 transfer, but transferring from Cal because they knew that the freshman was going to take over at Cal and, kind of doing what Cincinnati wants him to do. Like, he might not put up the best numbers because the whole team at Indiana is just nasty, but I mean, he's leading them almost perfectly. Um, I I think you kind of have to consider him. And then my other one is, you're going to hate me for saying this because I've been saying his name all year, but it's Fluff Bothwell. I mean, him and Booth at Mississippi State are just making them a two-headed running back monsters, and I think that is bringing what Mississippi State needs. Another heartbreaking loss to Texas this past weekend. That's three that they've had in the SEC. But I mean, Mississippi State's so close to being just almost in the playoff. Like if they win those three games, the Florida, Texas, and Tennessee game, they come out on top on those three games. They're what 7-2. Like they're firmly in the SEC conversation at that point. So Fluff Boswell coming from a G5 school and just being a monster at Mississippi State, I think he has to get it as well. Nightmare defense. So which defensive unit can best be or is the one that haunts you? I did a current one just to stay in there, but we can talk historic if you want as well. But it's the Ohio State
Yeah, I did.
defense.
Yeah, I did one current and one historic.
Yeah, I can go one historic as well, but this Ohio State defense is shaping up. Now, they really haven't played anybody, but they're shaping up to be one of the better defenses that we've ever seen, kind of on pace with like the 22 Georgia and the 01 Miami defense. So I think, we got to watch out for them. See what they do in the playoffs. If they're as good as they were last year, that I think they might be a little bit better. They should roll through this playoffs the rest of the season. But who are yours? I guess you went historic, right?
Well, I had um, one now. I mean, I went with Indiana with Signetti. I
Sure.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm not. They did play a pretty good Oregon team,
Hmm.
and they played a pretty good Illinois team at the time. And to me, their defense had just stood out and been more
Sure.
consistent in my eyes than any other
Yeah.
right now. Only because Ohio State just hasn't played
You're right.
anybody, in my opinion. Um,
You're right. They
and
don't get the credit they deserve either.
no, and my historic one, I had to stick with the '03 Hurricanes, man, with Sean Taylor.
Oh, you're not
Let's
even
see.
going 0-1, 0-3.
Yeah, well, '03, between '01 to '03. I mean, what was it? Sean Taylor, Vince Wilfork, Jonathan Vilma,
Mm-hmm.
Antrell Roll. Wasn't Ed Reed a part of that too?
I think he was on the 0-1.
'01.
Yeah.
But that Miami defense from what '01 to '03 to '04 was just
Yeah.
it was dangerous.
Yeah. No, I mean, and we have to mention, I think it was 22 Georgia, where like nobody could score on them, and they were just making fools out of everybody too. Um, yeah, no, I'm with you there. All right, so let's play a little bit of a trick or treat game here. Um, So trick being it's not going to happen or bad, like the statement is wrong, and treat being that the statement is correct and it's good. So I'm gonna give you your statement. I want you to say trick or treat, and if you have an explanation, you can talk about it. Ohio State will be the only undefeated team this regular season.
Great.
Treat. I think so as well. I think they finally get over that Michigan hump this year. I don't think Michigan's that good. I think they beat Indiana in the championship game, but I don't know. I think Indiana might be undefeated till the championship game, but I think Ohio State will be the only undefeated team left. So that means you and I both think Texas A&M is going to lose one here.
Mm,
I think they lose to
oh man.
Bama.
Mm,
Do you want to take it back?
mm. I don't know, man. Both of them are playing so freaking good. It's hard to even.
And BYU too. Well, I think BYU is going to lose, but
I'm gonna stick with it.
okay. Next one, a non-QB will win the Heisman. Trick or treat?
Trick.
I think so as well. I think it's going to go back to being a quarterback. If you had to pick, who's your front runner right now? I have three names.
I mean, really and truly, it's Mendoza, Pavia, and Simpson.
Yeah, I think those are the three, right? I think Pavia, if he wins at Texas this weekend, he shoots his name up to the top. I truly do, and I might put some money on him. Number three, there will be 12 open Power Four jobs by the end of the year. This does not include like if Ole Miss were to lose Lane Kiffin. I'm not including that. Right now, there's currently eight. So do you think four more teams, four or more teams will be open by the end of the year in the Power Four?
I'm gonna say treat.
I do too. Do you want to name the ones you think?
NC State.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. I
Uh,
bet you Warren resigns or retires.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm gonna go Wisconsin.
Oh, I didn't even have Wisconsin on there. Yep. Okay, that's definitely over then.
That's what 10.
Yep.
Trying to think. I had them on my paper, but I lost it. Um,
Florida State.
they keep saying no, but I think they're lying. Yeah, I can put
I,
Florida State into that.
I think they will at the end of the year. I think they just don't want to do
Yeah,
it in season. Auburn,
Um, yeah, definitely Auburn.
uh, Kentucky.
Yeah, I can see them get
There's
finally getting.
there's there's 13 right there.
Yeah,
I have some
definitely.
hot takes.
I can
I think
see them getting ready for
I
that.
can I can see UNC.
Uh, I can't see that.
Okay. I can see USC, Southern California, because
If
I
they
think
stumble,
they're fed up with Riley if he keeps losing games he shouldn't.
what has he been there? 3, 4 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah, I can see that if he slips up this weekend.
And then the other one that's a super hot take, and it's not because of the firing, it's because he takes an NFL job, and that's Texas.
You think Sark's leaving for NFL?
I think he wants to go to Tennessee,
Hmm.
to the Titans. I think he wants back in the NFL.
What
That's a
about him
guess,
being?
but
What about South Carolina?
so I thought about South Carolina too, but what was South Carolina before Shane? Uh, This is
I
the
mean, they were
conversation we
mediocre
always
through
have is like,
3.
is the grass ever greener? They only had good years under Spurrier, and even under Spurrier it wasn't that great.
Yeah, I mean, they've always been mediocre. I don't know. I think they hang on to him one more year.
I do too, and I think he can
I think
recruit.
next year.
So
I think next year you'll probably see him gone.
yeah. All right, number four, the Big Ten and SEC will have a combined seven total teams in the playoffs, seven or more total teams in the playoff. Trick or treat.
Great.
Yeah, I agree. So let's look at it, right? Texas A&M, Ohio State, Indiana, pretty much already are locked, right? If they lose one game, I think it's fine. And whether they lose in the championship game, I think it's fine as well. I think Alabama, Vandy, and Oregon can lose one more as well, and they'd still be in. So that's six teams right there, right? So the odds of Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee getting one bid to make seven, I think is pretty high. In Missouri, if you want to
Yeah.
put Missouri in there, even though
I think
Cabrillo is
Missouri.
out.
Yeah, I think Missouri's done. I was thinking more of Texas being at 7th spot. I mean, Georgia being the 7th spot.
Well, yeah, I think Georgia Ole Miss is probably. I think Tennessee
Yeah.
is out of it after this weekend, but um, yeah. Okay, and then final one, ACC and the Big 12 will each have two teams in the playoffs, so four teams total.
That's definitely a trick.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think the ACC actually has will get two, but I think is only whoever wins the Big 12 is the only team going to get one, unless BYU goes undefeated and loses in the championship game. That's the only way they get four.
Yeah.
But I don't think BYU goes undefeated. I think Georgia Tech might have one loss. They might lose to Georgia at the end of the season. And then I can see if they go, say, 11-1 and Miami's 11-1, I think they're both in.
Mm,
You don't think so?
I was thinking of a wild card, but
Louisville, I guess,
yeah, I was thinking Louisville. Um,
or UVA.
yeah, I mean, you can't really count UVA out just yet until they slip up. I mean, even though they've been struggling now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I can honestly see Miami for sure, Georgia Tech definitely for sure. Even if they lose to Georgia, I mean, yeah, I can see them too.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I think they only get three out of those because Notre Dame, if Notre Dame wins out, they're going to be in. Say Ole Miss and Georgia win out, I think both of them are in. That's eight. Nine with Notre Dame. You have to have one G5, that's 10.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
So, all right, let's go into quarter three here with our superlatives. Player of the week. I have two. One you've already talked about a lot, so I'm wondering if it's yours. Trinidad Chandless, is that your player of the week?
No, I went with somebody else.
All right, so I'll give you one of mine. Then it's Trinidad Chandless. I just another statement win at Oklahoma in a game that Ole Miss typically loses, especially with all the hype around Lane to Florida. Now next week going to be Lane to LSU. Um, I think he deserves a player of the week. I have one more, but this one might be yours. So who is it? Who you got?
I went Marcel Reed.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he did have two interceptions, but what was he? 12, 21, I want to say, two touchdowns. I know he had 202 yards in the air, but he also had 13 carries for two touchdowns and 108 yards on the ground against a very hostile environment in LSU. I mean, that game could have went either way.
Yeah. My other one, which I thought you were going to do for ACC homerism, is Haynes King. Uh, not a passing quarterback, huh? After all the crap I was talking about him last week. Well, he went 25 for 31 for 304 yards in the air with another 91 yards rushing. Like, I know it was versus Syracuse, and Syracuse has been down ever since Angeli got hurt, but I mean, that's crazy numbers for Haynes King, I think. King.
Well, that's the thing with him, though. You can't really game plan. He reminds me of the quarterback that Paul Johnson had when they did the option. What was his name? I think that's when Calvin Johnson was there. Was it Ball, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I want to say it was Ball, and then it was another one after him. It doesn't matter how you game plan for Haynes King in Georgia Tech because you can game plan the run, but then he can light it up with his arm too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
All that offense is so tricky to game plan. I mean, your substitutions on defense have to be spot on in order to
Yes.
even compete with that offense.
Yeah. And the dude's tough as nails, too. Like, he's just tough as nails.
I mean, he
Um,
lowers his shoulders like a freaking running back. I mean, he doesn't
yeah.
care.
It's like the modern version of TiVo, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, game of the week. My game of the week was Texas versus Mississippi State. Mississippi State was up 17 points going into the fourth quarter and then losing overtime. Don't know if you got to watch that game, but that game was just electric. I feel so bad for Mississippi State because they should have beat Florida, they should have beat Tennessee, they should have beat Texas. They should be having those three wins in the SEC, but yet they have not had a win in the SEC in 2 years. I think it's coming. I think they're finally getting their people in there. But that game was really, really good.
Yeah, actually, with Ole Miss and OU because of the
Yeah.
field conditions. I mean, as wet as it was, I mean, that was still a shootout too. I mean, that was a pretty good game to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah. And your boy Chandless was just electric in the
Oh
second half.
yeah.
Winners of the week. I have two, and it's Ole Miss and Texas A&M. Ole Miss being able to shut out all the noise with Lane uh, rumors, and then Texas A&M. We always joke Texas A&M goes 8-4 every single year. Well, they have 8 wins now, and I don't think they're going to lose 4 games. So I think they finally beaten that stigma here, and Elko was 1,000% worth the Jimbo buyout and the correct hire.
Yeah, I actually went LSU's athletic department AD,
Yeah,
and
well,
I went and
that
I
was the
went Ole
loser of the
Miss.
week. Their AD is the one who had the Jimbo buyout at Texas A&M.
Well, still LSU for finally getting rid of Brian Kelly.
There's rumors that AD is going to be gone here too, so shortly. But yeah, no, I found that interesting, right? Like the $78 million buyout at Texas A&M and then the $54 million buyout for Kelly were both orchestrated by the same athletic director.
Hmm, that's right.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's wasted a lot of money.
Yeah. And then losers of the week, I think it's Florida fans at this point because if Lane does leave Ole Miss, I'm not sure he skips over LSU for Florida. I just really don't. And if it's not If it's not Lane, then who? I have my opinions on who they should go after. I think they should go after John Gruden, but I think they're going to go Eli Drinkwitz, which wouldn't be bad, but I don't think it's the hire that everybody wants.
So that's your bad.
Yeah, that's my loser of the week.
Loser of the week for me. I went Illinois. They
Yeah. Oh
just when you
man,
think they're starting to crank back up, they just find a way.
they did not look good at all this week.
No.
All right. Well, let's get into our picks and get out of here, man. So, on the season, you once again, sir, are kicking my butt after another losing week for me. I'm 55 wins, 41 losses. You're 66 wins and 30 losses. And my gambling picks are 50 wins, 44 losses. So, had another down week for gambling, but we're determined to make it better. Florida versus Georgia, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Georgia's favored by 7. Who you got? Both coming off buys.
Georgia.
Same as me, but I think Florida covers. Vandy at Texas. Texas favored by 2.5. Arch Manning, I believe, is still in concussion protocol as of Wednesday night. Um, I think Vandy rolls here. I think Pavi shoots himself into the Heisman conversation.
I went Vandy as well.
Miami at SMU noon game. Miami's favored by 12.5. SMU has not looked good this season, but Miami, with the loss to Louisville, or then the slow start against Stanford, even though they covered in the second half. Maybe some old things are starting to creep back up on Miami. Do you think SMU gets it done here?
No.
I don't either. I think Miami wins it. Duke at Clemson. Clemson favored by 2.5. Give me the Dukies. Maybe talks of even Clemson letting go of Dabo here. Give me Duke.
Wow, you really want Duke?
Yep.
So give me Clemson.
You wanted to go Duke, didn't you?
Huh?
You wanted to go Duke, didn't you?
I wanted to. I'm gonna stick Clemson. I think they get a home win, much needed home win.
Navy at North Texas. North Texas favored by 7.5. I think Navy's not going to be undefeated after this week. I think North Texas offense is just too good. Give me North
Yeah, I went
Texas.
North. Yeah, North Texas.
Look for that coach to be at Oklahoma State next year. You heard it here first, folks. Um, Arizona State at Iowa State. Iowa State broke my heart last week, but I'm sticking with them. Give me Iowa State.
I went Iowa State as well.
Mississippi State at Arkansas. Arkansas is favored by 4.5. I think Mississippi State finally gets their SEC win. Give me Mississippi State.
Yep, Mississippi State.
OU at Tennessee. Oklahoma at Tennessee. Tennessee is favored by 3.5. I think this is going to be another shootout here. Um, Tennessee's defense can't stop anything, so give me Tennessee. I think they win this shootout. I don't trust John Mateer's hand being healthy.
I went Tennessee as well, only because of the home field advantage.
Yeah. USC at Nebraska. USC is favored by 6.5. What do you got?
Nebraska.
As do I, and look for Lincoln Riley to be on the hot seat after this game. And then finally, Cincinnati at Utah. Utah is favored by 10.5. I'm not sure if they're starting that freshman quarterback again, but they looked really, really good against Colorado. Who you got?
I don't know. This is a tough one. Kind of want to go Houston because it's at home.
Cincy at Utah.
I mean Utah because it's at home. But I haven't really been able to trust Utah. But I don't
Yeah.
know if the jet lag is going to get Cincy.
Utah Knight's a different animal.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick Utah.
I'm going Cincy here. Give me the trusted quarterback with Sorsby over, I don't know. Dampier started off hot, and if he plays, I don't know. So, all right, round off some gambling picks here. Coastal versus Marshall on Thursday night. Marshall's favored by 4.5 or 5.5 points. Give me Coastal plus 5.5. Michigan versus Purdue. Michigan's favored by 22.5 points. No way should they be favored by that much. Give me Purdue plus 22.5. Illinois versus Rutgers. Illinois is favored by 12 and a half. They broke my heart last week, but I'm still betting them this week. Illinois minus 12 and a half. Mississippi State versus Arkansas. I already think Mississippi State's going to win outright, so give me Mississippi State plus 4.5. Wake Forest versus Florida State. Florida State's favored by 9.5. Give me Wake Forest, sneaky 5-2, um, plus 9.5 here. Wake Forest, Robbie Ashford and the boys. South Carolina versus Ole Miss. Give me over 54.5 points. Indiana versus Maryland. Give me over 50.5 points. Navy versus North Texas. Give me over 65.5 points. Florida versus Georgia. Give me over 50.5 points. And Tulane versus UTSA. Tulane's favored by 5.5 points. Give me Tulane minus 5.5.
I like it. You know, I don't bet a whole lot.
All right, man. Well, that's it for this week. Keep sending us some questions or ideas to talk about, things to talk about. And hopefully this weekend will be a little bit better than what it's projected to be. And we will see you next week.